you have discovered through the expansion of the internet world. I am Johnny Allen, and this is the Johnny Allen 30-Minute Podcast. We're going to be talking about your life, my life, and the world today. So sit back, relax, grab something if you need it, and let's do this. All right, the podcast does start now. I'm Johnny Allen of the Johnny Allen 30-Minute Podcast. Hey, welcome aboard, guys. Hey, welcome aboard. Guess what today is? Cinco de Mayo. You're all probably out having a good time. Cinco de Mayo, man. I love my Spanish friends. I have a few of them. They're good people. I'm Johnny Allen. Welcome to the podcast where I talk about everyday life situations for 30 minutes or so. That's about all I do. I'm an average guy, average life. I live in the United States of America. You know, I just hang out and observe things and share my stories about everyday life. That's all I do. I drink coffee on the show, too. If you have a coffee, go ahead and drink it, or something else if you're Cinco de Mayoing and celebrating. But just be careful as you celebrate. You guys know that. All that good stuff anyway. Here's to Cinco de Mayo. All right, on the agenda today. First, we'll get the coffee. We'll get the coffee commercials out of the way first. All right, there's a couple brands I endorse. Okay, first of all, I discovered this over in Ohio about a month ago. This is the Red Mug Coffee Roasters House Blend. Love that place. I'll go ahead and share the link, but I'll go ahead and put it up here too. You guys can see that Millersburg, Ohio, kind of a local coffee company. And then I also love the Black Rifle. Right? Another good coffee company. Just a couple that I've been drinking lately. Also, Trader Joe's. Been back to Trader Joe's and a few others that I'll share later. But I hope that your life is good for you guys and gals out there in the YouTube world, Spotify, wherever you're listening to me. I'm going to get on iHeartRadio here pretty soon. Going to be bringing in more guests pretty soon. This kind of laying down the agenda. But it's Thursday. May the 5th, 2022. Sir Charles. Just saying thumbs up to you, brother. Sir Charles is a good friend of mine that faithfully watches the podcast, and I appreciate that. And we have a lot of laughs when we are at the workplace. So, Sir Charles, here's a drink to you. I know you don't drink coffee, but if you're drinking something, cheers. Cheers to life, Sir Charles. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Anyway, it is May the 5th and Cinco de Mayo. Be careful out there. So on the agenda, here we go, guys. Got some notes today. Just things I observed all week long. First of all, I kind of like to back up. It was Monday, I think, this week. Or was it last week? I guess it was last week that I hit a deer with my car, my Mustang. I got two Mustangs. I got a classic 1969 Mach 1 that I'm restoring. I've had it for 30-some years. I don't drive that much. I certainly don't drive it to the workplace. But I have a 2006, which is getting older too, 2006 Ford Mustang GT. That's done up pretty nicely. And I hit a deer with that last Monday going to work. And thankfully it did nothing to the deer or myself or the car. So life is good. Praise Jesus on that one, right? It was really super close. We made contact, but no damages. So that was last week. I don't remember if I even shared that or not. I'd also like to have the Johnny Allen just tidbit of advice to young people, and especially older people, but it goes for young people too. I know that we are, as a nation, we are heavily in debt. As individual households, we're in heavy debt. So I suggest, just as my 2 cents for advice for the day, take it for what it's worth, take it from experience that I have ran into throughout the years. If you have debt, especially credit card debt, get rid of it. Pay it off as soon as possible. I know we like things and all this stuff, guys, but be disciplined with your finances. Try to get the secret is of freedom, basically, is debt-free. Get debt-free. And I'm working on that now. Because I tell you what, if you don't have to be a slave to the grind, and you got to make money, right? But if you don't have to worry about how I'm going to juggle all these bills and have this huge debt weighing over you, it's a good thing to be in, not to have that huge debt weighing on you. So my advice for today, my tip is work on getting out of debt. If you're already out of debt and you're putting money away, kudos, you're on the right track. Put the money away, because time goes by very fast. The next thing you know, when you're 20 years old, you think I got plenty of time. When you're 18 to put away for retirement, you think I got plenty of time. The next thing you know, you're my age, you're 58, and you're like, whoa, I got some money back, but man, wish I could have put more back. You always wish you could put more back. But if you haven't been putting money back, put money back. If you don't have a 401k, your company doesn't offer it, just go get one yourself. A good thing of advice I heard from this guy named Tony Katz that does a local podcast here in town in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I'm a big fan of Tony's. He says, he pays himself first, and I would like to share that. He's right. Pay yourself first before you pay anybody. Put some money away for you, and then pay your bills. Get all them debts paid off. That's my advice for the day. Also, don't forget, this coming Sunday is Mother's Day. I know we're talking about Cinco de Mayo today, but man, come on. Mother's Day is Sunday. Do not forget. If you're still blessed to have your mother like I am, she's getting older, and every day I have her is a blessing. Seriously. Go share the day or the weekend with your mother. Go see your mom. Call your mom if you can't see her. Acknowledge your mother. Sunday is Mother's Day, guys and gals. Acknowledge your mom, because moms are fantastic. They're great. A little thing about my mom real quick after having a swig of coffee. I am blessed, as well as my brother. We are both blessed to have fantastic parents. We're both really blessed to have our mother. And I'll just share a little bit about my mom. I've done this in the past without getting too involved or too deep about it. My mom is darn near the definition of perfect. Is she perfect? No, but no one is. But dang near close. My mom is my biggest fan. My mom has unconditional love. My mom is so supportive and attentive, and she is the anchor and the rock of the family. She is the anchor. Moms usually are. Most moms, anyway. I'm lucky to have my mom. My mom gave birth to me 58 years ago in February, and we both almost died. And Mom, I appreciate you doing what you did, and I appreciate you bringing me into this world. Mothers, just childbirth alone is a big, huge miracle task that some people take for granted. I don't. So my hats are off to the women and the mothers of the world, the moms that have given birth to children and raised their kids. Without moms, face it, there's no human race. So kudos to moms. Don't forget Mom on Mother's Day. My mom is fantastic. I mean, I just, that's all I can say. My mom is fantastic. My mother is fantastic. The biggest fan. I could really suck at something, but she'll never tell me that. She'll say, oh, I love that piece of music, and I know it wasn't my best, Mothers are very forgiving. My mom was when I was young, though, my mom was pretty strict, but that's good. My mom corrected my brother and I, which was great. And I think there's some of that missing today. I think that's why young people, some of them are so lost and doing really bad things because they had no real discipline from their parents, and especially their mother. I suggest you young moms out there today, look at some of the old school stuff. I'm not saying you got to torture your kids. I'm not saying that. But show them discipline, true discipline. Nowadays, moms want to just be friends with their kids. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being a friend to your child, but you also need to be the parent. Okay, that's all I got to say about that. I was lucky that my folks, especially my mother, very loving. But if you did something wrong as a kid, she let you know about it. And that's good because kids got to learn. If you just let them run wild, that's what's going to happen. They're going to be wild. Right? Right. Anyway, don't forget Mother's Day. And I love my mom. Mom, if you're watching, I love you tremendously. And I will see you on Mother's Day. That's a fact. Unless, the Lord decides otherwise, I will see you Mother's Day, Mom. Love my mother. Love my folks. Love my family. Also, my daughter is a mother. And she's doing a good job. So, Alex, happy Mother's Day if you're watching. Of course, my wife. And she's a mom. And my ex-wife, the mother of my kids. God love her too. She brought two beautiful kids into the world. So thank you. I appreciate everything that the moms do. So happy Mother's Day to all mothers. All right, I'm going to go to the next thing. Yeah. So we talked about Mother's Day. We talked about the coffee. We talked about Cinco de Mayo. I don't know a lot about Cinco de Mayo except that it is a celebration and it's Latino, and you guys can look that all up. But it's Cinco de Mayo. Some people make it as an excuse to go out and drink margaritas. I don't know. I'm not doing anything. I'm doing this podcast and I'm relaxing. That's what I do. Anyway, compliments. I want to talk a little bit about compliments. This is what happened to me this week. It just actually happened yesterday. It started off at work. Speaking of Latino and Latino, the Latino population, we have a few Latinos, quite a few working in our cafeteria, in our dietary, and they're good people. All of them. Get along with all of them. All those folks. Love them, actually. They're great. Couple of little Latino girls are, I think they're maybe from Venezuela. I'm not really sure, but there's, they're Latino, I guess, or I guess I'm saying that correctly. But anyway, they're Spanish descent, right? They speak Spanish-speaking people, very good people. I was going through the line. She's very friendly. She asked me how I was doing. She noticed that I was gone in December with my illness for a while, and she was just very friendly. Very warm people. The people that I have had encounters with. Anyway, so getting to the story, go through the line today, her line, and grab my lunch, and she's speaking Spanish with one of her co-workers is Spanish, and I just said, it was in the morning. I said, what did I say? Buenos dias, bien, and good morning. How are you? That kind of thing. And she goes, oh, yeah. And she starts going on. And she goes, yeah, you picked up a little bit. I said, yeah, I know a little bit of Spanish. But I said, I was learning it a while ago. But the one Spanish lady was teaching me it. She took another job. She left it. And I said, I've not been able to really pick it up since then. She was my teacher, And this lady was so nice, young lady. She's like, I will teach you. I will teach you. Like that. And then I went back to get my lunch. That was breakfast. I went back to get my lunch, and she's teaching me, while I'm in line checking out, she's teaching me a little bit of Spanish, and just wonderful people. So anyway, and she just compliments me a lot. She says, John, how are you? You look nice. I'm glad you're feeling better. Just complimentary, bubbly, friendly, warm personality. Love that, right? So that's at work. I leave work, and I stop and get gasoline for my car, for my 2006 Mustang. It's the color of the car is Vista Blue. It is a nice looking blue. I admit it. That's what sold me on the car. It's kind of like a navy blue. It's a cool looking blue. And usually guys get red or black cars or stuff like that. I like those too, but this one was blue. It is blue, and it's nice. Anyway, just an older gentleman, probably my age, comes up to me, and I'm pumping gas. And I'm always leery about somebody walking around while I'm pumping gas. I'm like, especially these days, unfortunately, I'm kind of leery about, okay, what's he up to? What's he going to do? Is he going to try to rob me or something? He didn't look like that type. Not that I'm stereotyping, but he looked like he was pretty, mellow, like he wasn't the robbing type. But I was still kind of, aware of him being there. So anyway, he comes up to me and he says, man, I just want to tell you, I love the color of your car. I love your car, man. I love your car. I said, oh, I appreciate it. He goes, man, I really do Love that car. And I said, well, it's a little dirty right now. I appreciate it. But I said, it needs a bath. But I said, it's my daily driver, and it's hard to keep it clean, especially here in Indiana. It's been raining like crazy, and every other day it rains, and I got to set it outside because I got my 69 baby put away, and I just don't have, anyways, I had to sit outside, and it's getting rained on, and it's feeling a little neglected. And I said, well, I got to wash it, and I got to clean it in there. But anyway, he was very complimentary of my Mustang. And, it just made me, I told him, thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. Really do appreciate that. And, made me feel good pulling out of the gas station. I thought, man, I felt good leaving the line at lunch today. The little Hispanic gal that, I got to get her name. But anyway, she's really sweet. And there's so many of them that are. And it just made me feel good to have the compliments and the camaraderie and the nice, warm vibes, that you get from people. It's just so nice. And then the guy at the gas station, So the point I'm trying to make is, like, with compliments, doesn't it make you feel good no matter who it is? If it's an older guy complimenting your car, if it's a younger Hispanic gal trying to teach you the language and being very nice and sincere and want to know how your health is and things like that. And I don't really know this person. I don't really know either one of them really well, right? The guy, I just met him, he just came to me. He's a stranger. Don't know who he was. But isn't it nice to have those compliments? In the same gas station a couple of weeks ago, I had a younger African-American guy come up to me, and I would say the same thing. I was kind of leery. I'm like, okay, what's he doing? But, But he had a nice Dodge Charger. He kept me just, hey, same thing. Just, hey, man, I just want to tell you, man, dude, your car's nice. It's however the term he used. Anyway, he said it was great. I'm trying to think RAV or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, he complimented me. So it's really nice to have these compliments. So much better than, and I got good friends of mine that I consider, well, kind of good friends, acquaintances, I should say. A couple in particular that every day they're just doing this and it's all negative. I can't even, I'm doing my work. I can't even do my work without the certain individual coming in every day saying, did you see this? Did you see this? And it's usually bad stuff and controversial. Try to bring controversial stuff up to me. It's like, I don't like that kind of thing, Trying to start an argument or something, just trying to, egging it on, trying to start an argument. So much nicer to hear somebody like those two people I just described. Man, and I always try to give compliments. But anyway, that's a compliment thing, guys. Comment below on anything I got to say, if you've had experiences with that. Sometimes on Facebook, I don't get on Facebook very often anymore, but sometimes on Facebook, people will compliment new pictures and stuff. Like I just had one from let's see, who was it that just did that? Bo. I think it's Bo. Was it Bo? Anyway, on Facebook, complimented one of my pictures. I appreciate that. I'm getting really bad with names these days, man. It's like I'm forgetting names. It's really terrible. So I apologize. And next thing I got on the notes is a complimenting thing. Kind of changing now. A couple more things left before I end here today. I'm going to talk about standing your ground. Stand your ground. Okay, I'm going to back up a little bit. After I stretch here a little bit. Okay, stand your ground. Now, for years and years and years, I've been one of these guys that peacemaker, trying to keep the peace, trying to keep everybody, not try to engage in, debates and conversations that, just like, it just tires me out, right? Arguments and disputes and just negative stuff. And a lot of times I'd just be quiet, not say nothing, or even I'd go as far as like agreeing, no matter if it was in a band situation or work or wherever. For the sake of argument, I would shut up or agree with the person, really, for the sake of argument. Even though I would know sometimes I was right about something or whatever, I would just say, yeah, I think you're right about that, just so they would, go away kind of thing. Well, I kind of changed after I got sick in December and again in February from COVID and everything. And now I guess because I'm getting a little bit older, I'm starting to stand my ground again, like I did when I was 18 and 20 years old. Because when I was real little, I never stood my ground. I actually got punked on and kind of, was on the. And then after a while, I just decided, I'm tired of that. And I started, defending myself, fighting back. And I did that for a while in my early 20s and even in my 30s. I was kind of this guy. I stood my ground. No, you're not doing that. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not doing that. And then I got kind of away from it again. But now I'm kind of going back to it again. Because so many times I would just say, yeah, you're right. Even though I know I was right. I'm like, yeah, I think you're right about that, because I just didn't want to hear this. But anymore, I just say, yeah, you're wrong about something when I know I'm right. Okay. Anyway, I'm just standing my ground. I stood my ground the other day at a meeting. And you know what? I think it worked. I just let everybody do this in the meeting. And then when they were done, I threw my 50 cents worth in. And I wasn't mean, but I just said it bluntly and to the point and direct and kind of like, as a matter of fact, it's like this. And gave him, like my wife says, that look, that stern look I get. I actually kind of like my father. I love my dad to pieces. He'll do that. He'll say, matter of fact, it's this, and this is the way it is, and blah, 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 and rah. He'll do that when he knows he's right, by God. And that is what I was doing. And you know what? It worked, apparently, because everybody was always kind of doing this and ignoring me and not paying a damn bit of attention to what I had to say or what I had to do and not taking me seriously. And all of a sudden, after yesterday's meeting, or actually this was Tuesday's meeting, 2 days ago, wow, I got somebody's attention. Well, I'm starting to do that for now. And there's things that I'm going to have to bring up to some of my close friends, maybe, or my friends, that they may not want to hear. But there are things I got to do, because a lot of times, too, even with money or whatever, I would spend my money that I could spend on something else to help somebody else's cause or be a team player and, give money away to this and give money away to that. And then I'm out without money. And then the other person's like, yeah, well, we got to do this. And, you guys are going to have to, I'm going to have to stop some things. And they may end up going, well, no. The thing is, if I got a project, guys, if I have a project and everybody agrees to help me with this project, that's cool. That's one thing. But if I've got the project done and that project's done and I'm moving on to the next project and not everybody's on board with somebody else's next project, in other words, somebody else's project, not mine, really, don't just automatically expect me to take care or help take care of that for you. And in the past, I might just go ahead and keep doing it until I don't have anything left. Well, I'm not doing that no more. Strength of that. I basically explain later in a later video. I can't really go there right now. You guys are wondering, what's he talking about? What do you mean? What's he mean he can't support? I'll let you guys know later. Maybe like in the fall. We'll see how things turn out. But basically what I'm just saying, I'm standing my ground now. You got to make decisions sometimes. Even like with a spouse. I mean, I love my wife to pieces, and she'll even say that. Well, you don't have to listen to everything I say. And I'm just doing it out of respect. Well, she doesn't want that, so I'm going to respect her and do that. And, she doesn't want like that, and then I'll end up being right about some things. And she's like, well, you shouldn't have listened to me. And I'm like, yeah, maybe she's right. Maybe I shouldn't have listened to her. Maybe I should just listen to myself. You got a point there. Not trying to be rude or anything like that. But I think there's times, folks, what I'm saying, cutting to the chase here, the bottom line, you have to be a little assertive. You have to kind of just stand your ground. Like I said, stand your ground. If there's something that you believe in, don't wish-wash over it. I mean, just step up and stand it. Stand your ground. I'm not saying you have to be rude about it. You don't have to belittle people about it, but just stand your ground. Just say enough's enough. I'm done with this. Okay? Figure something else out, because I'm done. And you've been messing this up, and you're telling us to keep doing this, and we can't keep up with all this. So you're going to have to do something about it, not us. You're going to have to figure it out. And they go, whoa. And especially when you got people backing you, it makes it even better. But sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're going to be the lone wolf, or you're just going to have to, you may piss some people off, but it's just the way it is. You need to stand your ground. So many times before, I've just never stood my ground, and as I'm getting older, I got to stand my ground, because why should I work hard for my money, things like this, and I'll explain this later. Why should I put in somebody else's pocket? My brother once said something like this one time. He said, I might as well be just taking $100 bills, John, and just throwing it in the fire while I'm in the backyard having a little fire in my backyard in my fire pit while I'm drinking beer. I might as well just be throwing my $100 bills in the fire. And he's exactly right. That's what he's talking about. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your money. on things that is for somebody else. I mean, unless you really unless you agree on the cause. All right, I'm going to kind of wrap things up, guys. That's kind of what my next notes was making life decisions, and yeah, that's kind of what it is. And the last thing I like to end with the last 5 minutes of the podcast. Again, thanks for joining. Again, I'm Johnny Allen. I just talk about everyday life situations. I don't do political. I may touch on it. I'm not a sports guy. You know, there's places for that. If you want political, go to Fox or CNN or one of those people, okay? If you want sports, you know where to go, ESPN or one of those sports guys, right? Go to Box Gears Talking Sports if you want sports. Chris and Daniel down there in Texas. Hello, by the way, guys. It's been a while. And, you know, if you want history, go to history. You guys get it. There's places that you can go to get special topics. I don't do that. I just kind of sit here and like share the stories of my everyday life, things I run into. See what you guys do. See how you guys think about it. See if something similar, if you think similar things as I do, and we're just sharing. It's kind of like we're just sitting in my room having a cup of coffee together and having a chat. That's what I do here. So thanks again for stopping by and staying on. There's a couple other people on YouTube I'm going to link below that I really like, and I'll share with you guys and see what you guys think about them. Anyway, the end of the thing here. I got to thinking the other day, boy, you know, life goes on. I mean, it's hard to believe right now. It's May the 5th of 2022. I mean, to me, that's just, whoa. It's unreal. This year is almost pushing into half over. Next month will be half over already. 2022 will be half over. 2022 will be half over. We had this pandemic start 2 years ago, right? It's crazy. So anyway, I sat back and I thought, I looked back on my life and I did some life reflecting and some reflection because life really does go by fast. You guys may not believe, especially if you're younger, you won't believe it. If you're older, you get it. But when you're younger, you're thinking, it doesn't go by fast, but it does go by fast. I kept reflecting back on my life. Like when I started this podcast, like I'd say to the young people, man, you're 18, 20 years old. You start working a job. You start getting income. Pay yourself first. Get a 401k or whatever. If you don't do that, save your money. Pay yourself first. Try to pay yourself at least 20% out of each paycheck if you can. Don't get yourself in debt. If you do, very little debt. Be able to pay it off in a year or two, whatever. But just put the money back because next thing you know, man, you're 58 years old and you're like, whoa. And it sounds like you got a lot of money, but you really don't. It goes fast. Start saving immediately, okay? That's that because life does go really fast. Do things that you enjoy. Don't put it off because it goes by too fast, right? Don't put things off. If you got something on your bucket list, don't wait till you're, 70 years old to do it. There's nothing wrong with that, but try to do it when you're younger. Try to get your bucket list stuff done when you're younger. Enjoy your life. And remember, you don't have to do everything, and you don't have to buy everything, and you don't have to have the best of everything either. Just enjoy what you have. Make it quality, okay? Try to get all this in 2 minutes. Stand your ground. Don't waste your money. When you're standing your ground, don't waste your money. If you have good views and you have your own views, don't let everybody throw their views at you and say it's their way or the highway. You have a voice. You are a person. You have a voice. You have a right to say what you want to say too. Start standing your ground. Don't go do this. It doesn't work. Don't do that. I'm not saying you got to start a fight, but you can stand your ground. You can stand your ground respectfully, but stand it. You don't have to cave to society's craziness that's going on, right? You got a voice too. Everybody's got a voice. Freedom of speech. We still have it, kind of. Don't be afraid. Don't feel pressured into doing something you don't want to do, especially if it's bad things. Don't be pressured, especially if you're a younger person. If you feel pressured to do something, don't have to do it. Don't go with the peer pressure. Drink coffee. Okay, no. You don't even have to drink coffee. Anyway, I'm about ready to get out of here. That's all I got today, guys. I will have some people coming up. It'll be interesting that are going to chat with me. Kudos to Sir Charles out there. Hey, Tim, if you're out there watching, I hope you're doing well out there. Tim was a CWE coffee guy that retired. Thanks for letting me plug that coffee and good coffee I had for years. I do miss it. These coffees are good, and they're coffee, but I do miss the CWE. I hope you're doing well out there, Tim. Daniel and Chris out there in town there in Texas. Hope you guys are doing good. I haven't talked to you for a while. Tony out Las Vegas had a birthday not too long ago. Happy birthday, brother, out there. And if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Mark, Mark, if you're watching, Mark, keep your head up. The world's a hard place, but don't let it get you down. Don't let anything ever get you down, guys. Enjoy your life. Save your money. Think smart. Stand your ground. Because we're only here for a certain amount of time. That's all I got today, guys. Thanks again for joining. If you haven't liked, subscribe, please do so. It kind of helps me feel good. The compliments are great. I love y'all. You guys just hang in there, and make the best of it. Make the best of the world that we live in. Be nice to your neighbors. The Lord willing, like I say every Thursday, I will see you next week. Don't forget Mom on Sunday. Later. You have discovered, through the expansion of the internet world, I am Johnny Allen, and this is the Johnny Allen 30-Minute Podcast. We're going to be talking about your life, my life, and the world today. So sit back, relax, grab something if you need it, and let's do this.